Noah, you want to play? Go.
Welcome, Don Gino. I'm happy to have you back in Switzerland. It's been several years since you first touched base here. Perhaps we can begin with you sharing about your heritage and how you began this work.
Mm-hmm. I come from the Inca lineage, very strong Inca lineage from my grandfather. He was from the highlands in Puno. He died, he passed at the age of 100 years. And I remember when I was a little boy, he was involved in plants, but also in the ancient healing process in the highlands, like with dirt. They would use dirt. They would use the guinea pig, and so on. Many, many things. Plants, of course. Coca leaf a lot. So I was not aware of that. But then when I was 15, my grandpa was already like probably 85 or something. And he just named me and called me, "Oi, Chaka Runa." And I didn't understand because I didn't speak Quechua. Quechua is a language from the Incas at that time. And then later, much later, a friend who is an anthropologist, very close friend, he lives in Cusco. And the minute he saw me, he's an anthropologist, he mentioned, "You are a Chaka Runa." Then I started to dig in and search, and later I found out that it's a very powerful state of shamanism to reach. I don't know if they saw something or not. I was all my life following the Andean path, and really involved in the cosmovision of the Incas, the deities inhabiting the mountains, the Apus, Pachamama as a deity, Taita Inti, Mama Kia, and so on. But then, and I knew plants from the Andes. I knew plants. But then I was called to go to the Amazon again, randomly. However, there's nothing random. When I look back, Josh, every single dot was connected. This took me here. This dot was connected with that. I was shocked because I was so far from the people intervening in my life, connecting the dots unconsciously. But it was driving me in this way. It's very funny because, I mean, I don't know if saying there is a destiny or not. I think you build your own destiny. But however, there is a tendency. There are many, many ways, many roads where the dots can connect. It's like a tree full of branches. The thing is that we don't see because we are at the same level of the map. But once you start opening different eyes, maybe with plant medicine and other ways, you start seeing the dots. Wow, really? No way. This is the point. Yeah. And then you see the connection, and then you don't want to see anymore. You know it's there. And those will manifest depending on the decision that you take in your life. So there are many options, many paths that are already there. So the one that you choose is the one that manifests. This is a very important knowledge. So going back to the lineage, my lineage is from the Incas, of course, Andean path, Cosmovision, the three worlds, which is the Pachas. Pacha means time and space. Here we are in a time and space in the nature. Many people say Pachamama, not knowing what it means. Yeah, Pachamama, Pachamama. Pacha, time and space of the mother, of the mama. But there are other Pachas. You have the Hanang Pacha. Hanang, alto, high, elevated. So the world, the higher world, Pacha, time and space of the higher world, where the deities inhabit. Then you have the Kai Pacha, the time and space of the now, of humanity, which involves past, present, future, connection with the ancestors, the present, insights, the future, where your path is taking you. Hanapacha is ruled by the condor, taking the souls at bliss. The Kaipacha is ruled by the puma. Back and forth, agile, strong, present, alert. And then you have the Ukupacha, the time and space of the underworld, where you meet your shadows, your demons, your darkness, your wounds, phobias, trauma, ruled by the snake, the Amaru. But as there are three worlds, there are also three powers in the human. And then you have, as a Hanapach, the Yachai. Yachai is the wisdom, the consciousness, is the power of consciousness that brings wisdom. Then you have the Munai. Munai is love, but it's not getting in love with a person. It's the power of love, of living with passion, with blood in your veins, taking action. And then you have the Ruai or Yankai in the guts, the power of action, really driven towards what you want to manifest. So the message was clear. Take action with love consciously. That was a very powerful message. So they have the three worlds, the three powers of men. And but again, I was following that path, beautiful path, still do. It's part of my lineage. And then I went to investigate a little bit of the plants in the Amazon. And I was really not called to try plant medicine, but it happened again randomly, was not random. It was meant to happen with this American friend and yeah, there was a game changer. I was already on my awakening path, but this really took me to the next level of opening different eyes and conscious. I was all my life, since I was 15, a seeker. I think the shamanic path starts with the seeker. Then the seeker becomes a warrior. And the warrior, after so many fights, gets some wisdom and can foresee events. And then the healer becomes, because you are already settled, you are a unit. You have put the four parts together, which society breaks down in pieces. You know, when we are a little baby, you are a unit, you are a whole, just born, fresh body, even the smell, no disease in general. Your heart is rush pumping. The only emotion that you feel is when you look at the eyes of your mother and all these endorphins and serotonin, the sense of belonging, of love. Your mind is empty. You're investigating. What is this light? What is this bed? Whatever. You're brand new, and you just have come from the source. So you have a very powerful connection with the source. But that is broken into pieces when we are raised in a family, when we go to school, ideas here, ideas there. All the structure of education, in my view, can be much better. It's not right. It's not right. And of course the family, with preset ideas of the time of your parents or grandparents. So that is broken. The body's here, the mind is there, the emotions are there, the soul, who knows. So making it short, shamanism, the purpose is really to first make you aware that you're broken, even break you more to make it clear, and put it back together as a oneness. Otherwise, if you believe on the body, you're always exercising. Boom, boom. It's all in the body with what is, nothing else. Mind, I don't know. Emotions, no emotions. Or you can live in the heart. You can balance any emotion. It doesn't affect you. Body, maybe weak, I don't know. Or some people live only in the mind. Genius. Such a big mind. The body maybe is weak, emotions not there, spiritual, no. So this puts you as a unit, like you were when you came to this realm, as possible, because everything from outside affects everything. People affect you, places affect you, food affects you, the clothes affects you, the weather affects your vibration, I mean. And the one thing that affects even more is your words and your thoughts. That has a big power to affect yourself. Never talk bad about yourself, ever, ever, ever. Because your body listens. So then I went to, that was my start in long time ago. And then I followed so I have the lineage of the Incas in the Andes. Yet in that time they were it was called Yatiri. You can Google it. Yatiri with a Y is a very powerful medicine man in the highlands. But also you have in the area of Cusco, which still are alive, the Incas, the last Incas are called the Keros. There were many ethnies still alive, a couple of them. So the Keros are now carrying this wisdom and this knowledge and these prophecies. They live at 5,000 meters high in the mountain, isolated in a very raw way. We visit them once a year, already 5 years going to visit them, if not 6. And we stay with them, we mingle with them. We stay 5 days. They're so humble that they're so happy to receive us and make an interaction. And we admire them and they admire us in a way. And I think we crave for what they have, and maybe they crave for what we have, because they have nothing in our eyes. Little house, stone made, hay on the roof, dirt on the floor, no energy, absolutely no water, no nothing. But they have everything. They're so happy, so happy, so simple life. And they live in the basis of the Aini, reciprocity. It's wonderful to see. That is why I take people there, before dietas or after dietas, to witness and be part of this communal life where reciprocity is the axis, meaning my roof is really leaking. Can you come help me? And all the community will come and help you no money involved. And maybe next week the neighbor says, hey, my wall is coming apart. We all go there to fix the wall. Or maybe interchange. I have some quinoa here. You have potatoes. You want to change? Yeah, sure. This is beautiful to see. Absolutely. And also respect. They respect everything in such a humble way. They respect the river. Again, reciprocity. The river gives me water for my crops, for the animals. I take care of the river. And the dirt, the land, I feed the land. Not only with fertilizer, which comes from the alpacas or sheep or cow, but also by giving back through a ritual. Who gives back to Mother Earth? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. I don't know. Maybe some cultures, natives, they do. Probably. I cannot say nobody. I don't. The answer is I don't know. I know that in the Andes we do. We do a Haywarikui. It's a despacho. It's an offering. It's a present, which is an altar with a piece of sacred cloth in the dirt where you recreate the whole universe. And this is a table. You invite to have dinner the deity of Mother Earth and the deity of the Apus. The duality is very important. As in many cultures, like in China, the yin yang. In the Andes, a duality. The male and the female, up and down. So you invite the Pachamama, the female, to the left and the male to the right. And there is a beautiful creation of universe with offerings of grains, rice for the father, and sweets, candy for the mother, white flowers for the father, red flowers for the mother, and so on. And the dishes are the coca leaves. And that package is the offering that can be buried in the dirt, in the soil, as an offering, or can be burned. So our offerings and prayers are taken to the Hana Pacha, the higher world, through the smoke. It's a beautiful process. It's a very old knowledge, very old knowledge. So this is still there. That is very, very strong in my lineage. I really embrace it and respect it. So you have reciprocity, respect, humbleness. So humble, not having everything, but having everything, and gratitude towards everything. People, when they come, they are really, really touched. They break down, they cry, they reevaluate, because in the Western world, you want to have everything, craving. They have enough. Enough is enough. Shelter, which is nature, stones, hay, dirt, branches, wood, food from the animals they raise, and the crops, the potato, quinoa, and so on, fish from the river, and they walk up and down the mountains. Maybe now is a little motorbike, but mainly they walk. So, and they live long, maybe because this exercise and healthy food, And then the Amazon has also this other connotation, this narrative of so many plants, which are also in the Andes. People think that plants are only in the Amazon. It's not true. You go to the Andes, there is a large variety of plants. There are old ladies in this little part of Cusco, and they know each plant, the power, the healing power of each plant. Herbs, plants, barks, and so on. In the Amazon, is the other branch. So what I have seen in all my walks through the world, my dear Josh, because every time I go in a country to visit friends or do some seminars or shamanic gatherings, I try to visit the knowledge and the wisdom of the cultures that carry this wisdom in where I go. Like in Norway, I have visited the Samis in one time, which I'm really looking forward to visit them again. Powerful shamans, very powerful drummers, I believe they work with mushrooms also there. And they are everywhere in Africa, in Asia, in Tibet, in Australia, everywhere. But the one place I have witnessed that there are 3, even 4 very, very powerful shamanic paths is in Peru, not even in other areas of South America. Not in Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil. Peru has this very powerful. There are three main ones in the coast, which is the fringe of the ocean, in the Andes, which is the Cordillera in the middle, and in the Amazon basin connected to Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador. So in the north, they have these powerful shamans that they work with San Pedro. They call it San Pedro. Is a Catholic name. The real name is Huachuma, which is 2 words I will explain later. So the Huachumeros are not from the Cusco or Puno. No, they are from the north, from the coast Sierra. It's in between. Very powerful Huachumeros. They work with Mapacho. So the 3 branches are different, but very similar, for different purposes. The north, let's be quick here, they work with Huachuma, the cactus, and they will work with Mapacho, Agua Florida. They work with chonta, big wooden sticks, and swords. So they really have a very powerful ceremony with the swords, cutting all your maladies energetically with the swords. Sha, sha, sha. They really, and this I saw also in a Chinese master that I had when I was 17. I had a maestro in different areas, a little bit of martial arts, but I stayed with him 10 years. Not many people know this. And he told me one time, he was very humble, very powerful, but very humble, living in a little adobe house in the outskirts of Lima. And he used to sleep with a machete under the bed. And then one day I was there visiting him very early and walked into his room. And then he sat down in the bed. And the first thing he did was grab his machete and then sha, 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 like in a crossway. And I was, wow, what is? He said, always first clean the area where you will step into. Was very powerful. And then I saw later in the shamanism in the north, same. So what Chuma means, the very important thing to know also, Josh, is that these plants, which I work with, have a Quechua name. I still am not very clear why, but I know that the Andeans were very deep into the Amazon. Nowadays, they are discovering many ruins. Machu Picchu, Choquequirao, and many others deep in the Amazon. And there are many others which are not discovered yet. So that means that they were deep. And because otherwise, Huachuma is a Quechua word, fine. And the north were also Incas. Comes from 2 words. And the very important thing is that how can you work with a plant that you don't know what it means? The very name carries the essence and the purpose of the plant. Huachuma. People think it's 1 word. It is not. It is 2 words. Quechua. Huachu, Uma. Uma means head or mind. Huachu is the carving of the lines for agriculture. With a bull or with hand is the line, surco. That means line, direction, pointing. So if you put Huachu Uma, is the direction of the path of the wisdom, of the consciousness, because it opens certain things. Same as ayahuasca or ayauma is another plant. Aya, death. Uma, mind. So in this case, it's the opposite. Death of the mind. Because the mind sometimes is just nonsense. So the death of the mind brings the consciousness. You go in another state. The death of the mind. Some people say the man with no head. No, this is about mind. Ayahuasca, aya, death, huasca, rope. The rope of the death. So all these plants have a purpose. Going back to the shamanism, the north has a purpose. They work also with prayers, but also with magnets, big magnets to rebalance your magnetism. And with Wachuma, they don't take Wachuma in the day to see the sun or the clouds or the plants. No, these plants are to be taken in the night to look inside. They have a long process of 12 hours during the whole night in total dark. Same was done in Chavin de Huántar because they worked with San Pedro 3,000 years ago. The first thing you see in this temple, which was an initiation temple, is a big figure image, high relief carved of an Inca carrying a big San Pedro. And this was a temple for initiation. How did they work? They put the person to be initiated in the very basement. At that time, there was no energy. I don't know if there were candles or not. But it was put in total dark. Take the Wachuma, stay alone. No interaction with nobody. But these temples used to have a stone, inner channels interconnected. And the maestros or the shamans or the medicine men were outside, and in each hole, they were pour water. And the other one. So it was a full sounds of the water inside the temple with the echo. And then with the pututo, the shell, woo, in each corner. So imagine that person, wow. Then next day he was taken out. So it was meant to do work in the night. That is why I brought this example. And again, for healing body diseases, but mainly for bad eye, bad wind that really bends your body, bad eye, everything not flows in your life. This is mainly babies. Many people come also to do a limpia, general cleansing, body, the mind, the emotion. And this is done in the lake with immersions. Lake is very old. It's called Yanacocha. Cocha Lake, Yana Black, the Black Lake, is between two cordilleras. And this lake was used since the Incas. They would take the Inca, carrying him to the lake for a couple of days, only to get immersions to get revitalized and live. And the lake is meant to absorb everything from you, all the diseases, all the bad energy. So it is very powerful. It's still there, still there. Then in the Andes, you have the Keros carrying the knowledge. They work with plants. They work with Mapacho in Agua Florida. Big difference is the only place in the world, or in Peru also, that they work with two Agua Floridas, flower water, the male and the female, at the same time. It's beautiful to see this. They work with the quena, all the instruments from air, a little bit drum. And again, also the bridge to connect with the spirits is the coca leaf. The coca leaf, many people I see nowadays, they play with the coca leaf. This is called pukurukui, fukui. This to blow, fukui. Rikui, ceremony. So the ceremony to blow. What to blow what? It is known from our ancestors that the spiritual world moves in the world of the scents, of the smells. Oh, what is around, the plants, the flowers, So they like and they smell through us. So when you do this, it's opening the space to connect with the deities and share with your blow the smell of the coca leaf. When they are fresh, they are very beautiful smell, sweet. So they pray humble, and your own live energy through your breath connected with the mixing with the smell of the coca leaves. This is your offering, you know. It was called the mapacho. They smoke. That is why in every ancient culture you see in the graves, the people bring incense, mirra, fresh fruit. They smell through us. They mapacho, tobacco. It's very important rituals. And so again they heal also with the guinea pig. And then they can read in the organs of the guinea pig what is your problem in your body. But this is mainly for the physical healing, also for limpias. They use a lot the feather of the condor, 2 feathers, and they cut the air like the source, in the north. Similarity again, the source, iron source has to be. They use the condor the same way. It cut all your energy around you, in the head, in the chakras. Very powerful. Sometimes with 2 hands. And also for bad eye, for bad wind. And they have the power of reading the coca leaves. They put, and then you blow with your own energy, and then they throw the coca leaves, and they can read whatever your question is. If you're going to travel away, if you're going to get married, if you're going to, your son, whatever, if you're going to move countries, very, very accurate. Very accurate. So the language is the Quechua, of course, very powerful. And that is also important to know that many Icaros in the Mestizo way in the Amazon have the Icaros in Spanish and Quechua. I will explain later. So, and also the tale says that in the Amazon, the curanderos take medicine plants to connect with the spiritual realm. In the Andes, the spiritual world connects with the curandero through the coca leaves. So it's very important difference. Okay, so in the Amazon, again, there are so many diversities. You have the paleros, which the people that work with trees, vegetalista, with plants, roots, resin. You have the rubbers or sobadores. They really rub your body. You have the hueseros, the bone crackers with the hands, very powerful. You have the whistlers, people that only have such a powerful whistle. The whistle, when it's focused, has really power. It's like a laser. It goes in different ways. You have the perfumeros, which work with the scents only. And of course, ayahuasqueros, camalongueros, which are working with this defensive plant. They all make a large variety of different doctors, like in a hospital. You go in the hospital, first floor, the lungs, second floor, cardio, third floor, the skin, fourth floor, the eyes. It's the same. And they also do venteada with chacapa, mapacho, to clear your energy. So there are many similarities with different tools, because you carry energy, not only in the body, but also around us. This also has to be clean. It's very important where you step into, you know, try to feel the vibration. And you develop this, and it will happen that sometimes you're going to step into a street or and then you feel, and then, no, not here. And you change. This enhances your capacity to feel the vibration of people, of spaces, of plants, of nature. It enhances that capacity, big time. So in the Amazon, again, they use mapacho. Agua Florida in the ceremonies, plant medicine, of course, purgatives, a lot of purgatives with tobacco or seeds, pirirá, and other infusions also, very, very purgative. And they use, of course, some animals like the Campos frog to also cleanse all your system and reboost your immune system, and so on. So in that area of the Amazon, my lineage is Mestizo. You find native, Shipibo, Andean-Inca, Machienga, Campa, many others. Many of those work with plant medicine. And then you have the native, but Mestizo native, or upgraded, because this native only speaks his language, dialect, Shipibo, Machienga, whatever. Nothing else. Very old people. They are already vanishing. And then you have the Mestizo, native, speaks the language, but also a little bit Spanish and some English words. Then you have the Mestizo, which mainly comes from the Andes. There were many people coming from the Andes to the Amazon in the 50s, 60s, and then they embraced the path of the Amazon, and that is why this lineage is very important also, because the Keros are in Spanish, in Quechua, and the other ones is only in the language. Different approach also, different kind of work. And then you have the foreigner that comes to Peru and learns a little bit and says the medicine. You have the New Age shaman mixing everything, yoga and sound bath and whatever. And then you have the musician shaman also, musicians that serve medicine because they have the tool of music. And sometimes eclectic because they put everything together, Indian, Native American, Amazonian, Peruvian, English, I don't know. So this is kind of the branches. I belong to the Andes, very powerful, and to the Mestizo lineage, both together. And the north also I embrace. In the north they were with the harmonica. Funny thing, all that which is boundary with Colombia. Funny thing is that most of the shamanism started in Peru. Funny thing is that in the north they work with harmonica, and all the shamans in Colombia is harmonica only. That is what I can say, my dears. I'm sorry if I made it too long.
No, well, good. That actually, how you finish leads perfectly on to the next question.
Yeah.
Which, in all the retreats that I've witnessed, you've never shared to the group, but many of us would like to know, if you're comfortable to share, how were you initiated and taken under the wing of a Peruvian ayahuasca shaman to continue the sacred work?
Yep. So, as I said, I was initiated by my grandpa in the Andean world since I was 15, baptized with the name Chaka Runa, which I didn't give importance. Later, when I started, because I was working normal in the city and going to the Andes every year as an architect and eco builder, that was my path, but always with a parallel path of my shamanic, and more than shamanic, my seeking. As a human being, I always ask, what is this about? What am I doing here? Where am I going? What is this? Always, the seeker is first there. And then I didn't discuss anymore, and I embraced the path at the same time as my career, normal career, family, whatever. But never dropped it. Never. It was so strong. It was so strong, really, in each cell of my body, of my being, in each drop of blood was there. The power of it was in the genes, as I explained at the beginning. You cannot deny. It's undeniable. You can look the other way, of course, or embrace it, which was my case. So after learning from my grandpa. My mother also used to heal with plants in the city. Everything we would have was a tea or a herb or a plant. Sometimes I remember if she put a piece of meat in my eye because I had a big concussion running and I hit a tree or something. I vanished and purged it, and she healed me with a piece of meat. All was natural. And I have some uncles that also was a healer with the Andes. He wrote 2 books, very, very important information with the snake, the fat of the snake, the herbs, the dirt. There's a lot of information there in that book. Frisancho was the name of my lineage. And Coquela, also I am half Italian, half Peruvian, 50-50. But then I went to the Amazon and I started randomly with a person in Cusco I believe he was from Pucallpa, he said. I don't know. It was a very, very tough initiation, but I made it through. I'm still breathing. And that is why I know that people can go through it. Even if you think you cannot go through it, you can go through it. I thought I was not going to be able. It was really, but I kept saying, come on, you can do this. You can do this. It's just a wave. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe. And the power of the Inca was there. Unbelievable. It was such a big Inca in me that I was alone in the room. And I could repeat an Inca, Inca, power, power. And each breath was the power of the ancestor. And then that was my guide. I think that was how I made it through. And my powerful power animal, the eagle. So I started there, but then again, the dots took me to the Amazon. I was in the Sacred Valley working some projects, and I never was going to look for a shaman. The shaman looked for me. So the medicine was already driving me there somehow. And then this shaman came to Cusco looking for an architect. There were like 4, but he looked for me. I said, I like your work. Can you do this project for a healing center in Sacred Valley? Yeah, I said. What kind of healing? I'm an ayahuasquero, he said. It happened to be José Campos, maestro mío. I really have a lot of love and respect for him. And so he looked for me, and then we started like that. He's talk about his work, and I talk about my initiation. He said that we happened to have a common friend who was a friend from my high school, was a psychiatrist. He passed a couple months ago, researching on ayahuasca all his life, and he was a friend of this person. So there were many, many common things. So then I was receiving this call from the plant. It never stopped. Since I did, it never stopped. It was always this voice. And I was thinking, what is this? Come on. I was not taking any drugs, any medicine anymore. And the call was, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. I need to tell you something. Come. Since I was doing this project to this person that lives in the Amazon, I said, okay, I'm coming to bring your project so I can show it to you. And that is how it started. I went to the Amazon to Pucallpa, to the house of Don José Campos, my big respect. And that was my first Dieta. I didn't know what a Dieta was. And with a group in the Pucallpa retreat, Munay. And since days like this, I could not go away anymore. I was coming back for Dieta. Then, I think he saw it from the very beginning because he kind of obligated me to stay. I was not meant to stay. My ticket was for the next day. And I was supposed to fly back after showing the project. And no. He said, you stay. You stay. No, I cannot stay. I have my flight. No, you have to stay. But what is it? Because I asked him, can we take a little ayahuasca? He said, no, we cannot. You have to come with me. So finally he won and I stayed. And that was my first dieta. And then since then, dieta. He took me under his wing. However, I have to say that, well, that was my experience. I don't know about other shamans, but normally they don't teach, because when I felt this call, the very first dieta, in this shamanic world, if you say, I want to be the shaman, it hardly happens. There is a very, very important call in the Andes, in the north, in the Amazon, even in the Lama, they have a call and they look for this new Lama. So there is always a call of Mother Earth, of the river, of the wind whispering to you, of the trees talking to you, of the community, in many ways. And there is something different, not special but unique. In the Andes, the kids go raise the cattle, barefoot, wet grass, big storms up in the high mountain. And once in a while you read in the papers, 2 kids were burned with a stroke with lightning. But then suddenly this kid was struck with the lightning and he didn't die. And it's meant to be 3 lightnings, one that could destroy you, kills you, the other one pulls you back, and the third one gives you life again with your third eye open. That is very normal. In the old times, it was like that. In the Amazon also, they feel this kid is unique. He speaks with the river alone or with the trees. There is something there. So there is a call. There is something that you have to do at the time that you come to this realm. Even if you want to deny or you are involved in other things like myself, I was doing architecture, living in the city, and coming back and forth, at the end, they win. And you have to surrender or not. I think if you don't, then things don't work that good. Anyway, that was my lineage. I learned from Don José Campos, from other French peoples also. Don Juan, I don't remember his name at the moment. Yeah, so, and from the north, of course, the shamans from the north, I visited them. Still, this is a word that you learn during your whole life until you don't want to learn anything anymore. You just there, you just do. Whatever is there to learn will come when it needs to come. You have to be an open vessel, receptive, open, and always empty. You don't know nothing. For me, that is my best way. If you know everything, then what you're doing here? You should just put off the light and go back to the source. No, so boring. So for me, I'm not looking. I'm looking, but not looking for anything. I'm always looking, alert and present. But I don't look for anything. I'm at ease, and when you start doing this work, you want to do everything perfect and whatever, and nothing goes perfect. Everything goes wrong at the beginning. Everything goes wrong until you drop it, and then when you really embrace what I really love is when you say enough is enough. Perfect. Even without wanting, incredible ceremonies. You are there. Everything happens through you. If you think you know everything, nothing will happen through you. This is closed. It's totally closed. Then you perform. This is like a performance, an acting. It's prepared. No power. It's raw. It's nothing. When you're open and humble and just be present, then good things happen and good healing for the people happen.
So the ayahuasca global movement has really taken off in recent years, but there's still so many people who don't have the means or connections to participate and are really struggling with all sorts of mental disorders or chronic anxiety, chronic depression, and physical ailments. And many of them, as soon as they hear ayahuasca, they say, no way. They very fearful. What kind of advice could you give to these people and the benefits that they might obtain through this work?
Mm-hmm. Well, we gotta go a little bit back in time. These medicines, most of them, I would say, started in a tribal mode. The curandero, medicine man, medicine woman, healer, shaman was chosen, as I said, in a different way. And when he embraced this, he became mostly the most powerful member of the community. Could be a man, could be a woman. So they were used at the beginning for, I mean, there was always this seeking or trying to understand what was after death, because they will see their families, loved ones, having a sickness, a disease, and then dying. So they started investigating on whatever was at reach by observation. They could see this bird eating this kind of grass or whatever, or this feline, you know. So by trial and error, they started to develop this knowledge of the plants or certain animals. Also, they have healing compounds, or even DMT. There are fish that have DMT, very strong DMT. Flowers that have DMT. Plants, of course. So it was addressed mostly for providing explanation for the after death, but also for human evolution. The person, once they discovered these psychedelics, they wanted to look for upgrading their consciousness, and at the same time looking for the betterment of the community. In the old times, the shamans, of course, have to heal themselves first, which can take a long process. No, it's not a one dieta, one thing. It takes 2, 3, 4 years. And then you start walking in a line. So these shamans were providing healing. It was used also for community gathering. It was used an oracle, foreseeing events, because people don't know that the word shaman comprises a much deeper meaning than somebody providing certain plant medicine, mushrooms, ayahuasca, toé, huachuma, peyote, iboga, many, many plants. There are many more that we have not discovered. So it's like a table. It has 4 legs. The first leg was the warrior, who came from the seeker. Seeker brings you to the warrior, and is the most powerful member of the community, fighting against other tribes, but also in the spiritual realm. The second leg is the foreseer, the one that can see beyond, because with these plants you can see much farther than now. and they will feel that the neighbor community is going to attack us. We have to get ready. Of course, now is another kind of information, what is behind all this process of war, of viruses, of vaccines, of control. You gotta see behind the curtains. And the third leg will be the maestro, because he was the one carrying the wisdom of the community, providing knowledge on the habits, on the values, on the plants, on the healing, on the warrior to the new generations. And only after all that, the final one's the healer, which carry all the other things. There was the seer there, the warrior, the maestro, and then the power of the healing will come. So to answer your question, this is a very old knowledge that should not be feared. However, it should be taken in a very, very delicate and aware way, because when you intake these plants, which can be very, very beneficial for all the examples that you just mentioned, it can also be very damaging if you don't go to the right person. You got to look for referrals. Ask, who is this person? Where did he learn? Where did she learn? How many years is he doing this work? What are the referrals? What is the history? But most important, Josh, the shaman is more known not in ceremony but outside ceremony. Who is this person? What is his life about? Is he respectful? Is he humble? What does he do daily? Because at the end, who are you when you are not doing shamanism? That is the real deal. Who is this person? Because anybody can sit in the front and learn some songs and play the shaman and serve you medicine, maybe knowing little, not knowing anything, or maybe knowing. But what is this person carrying in his heart? What is his life experience? That is very important. Where is he coming from? Most of the powerful shamans come from hell. They have lived very, very low, including myself. I don't have any problem saying it. When I was young, but still, most of the shamans come from hell, walking in life, challenges, youth, youngster, adultness, darkness, which we all carry at one time at one point in our lives. And then when you shift into the light, then you can do this work in a very conscious way. You want to help others. You know the path. You have been there. And the shaman can take you back and forth because he has gone there so many times that he knows the path. He knows kind of what you're going to face here or there. What are the realms that you will be going through? What are the risks? What are the difficult paths to go through? And what is the beauty? So he has to take you on purpose to hell first. I mean, one way again to take you to bliss all at once. Nothing. You will be feeling the joy for a week and then going back again, and then I need to feel it beautiful, and then it's like in the loop. The only way to get rid of your fears, your wounds, your sadness is facing them, cry it out loud, purge it out. It has to go out of your system. That is why this medicine in the Andes, in the Amazon, we don't say, let's go take ayahuasca. We say, let's go take the purge. It has to purge you. It has to squeeze you. And then a new start. That's the only way. Squeeze your mind. So much nonsense. Your body, your heart will cry, broken, and refresh. Beautiful, refresh. Crying is a blessing. So the advice would be, look for referrals because you're putting your whole life, your whole being in the hands of a person you don't know. If you go to a hospital for a hand surgery, okay, your hand is at risk. Maybe you can get your body also at risk. But here is all, is your body. You expose your emotions wide open in that space. Your mind can absorb anything that this person can set into you, and your life energy can be really manipulated. So there is a risk, which is the same risk as going to a hospital. You can go into a doctor that maybe has so much diplomas in the world and no experience, and then you can die. Or you can go to an elder that has no diplomas and he does a good work. So the question is, would you go for a heart open chest surgery to a person that is just out of university, maybe with 10 surgeries, but 100 diplomas? Or you go to an elder of 65 that has done 800 surgeries? I think the answer is obvious. However, there is exceptions. There are also young people very conscious, very, very responsible, and they can learn very quickly. But time is a must. Time is a must in this path. Time teaches you. You will commit many mistakes, or not mistakes, but ways to learn. I don't believe in mistakes. It's always a win-win situation. Either you learn or you have a lesson. Even you win or you have a lesson. So, yeah, I think these medicines are really meant to be here. There's a big trend. Don't take it like a trend. Don't do these things like a trend. You will not get a good thing from that. You go there because you need, can be for something physical, mostly emotional. Most of the people have a big wound, and some because they have been there and they want to upgrade more and more their consciousness, see clear what is their path, no veils. I'm going there, It's so clear. It gives you the power of the conviction. The plants give you the power of the conviction because you will fight it. No, 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 no. But bit by bit, it empowers you. It gives power to your heart and a conviction, and only then you can let go and flow. And the plant will guide you and will teach you, because a maestro can teach you many things. Of course, I'm very grateful. Can teach you Keros, can teach you how to hold a ceremony, Mostly they don't explain, you just learn by watching and listening. But the best maestros and teachers are up there. Only when you're open, you will see and you will be shown ways, things, Icaros, tones, how to look into the person, how to support the person. Everybody is different. And then you can do a good work. Conscious, really honest. Some people are driven by the money. It's okay. Mostly it's how it starts. And the ego will take over, of course. I'm the shaman, whatever, I'm better. No, no way. It's a part of the process. It's part of the process. And then you just do because it's in you, and it will be a waste to have been shown this gift and not embrace it, make it grow, and share it.
Okay, EcoVillage. What inspired you to build an EcoVillage?
That's a very interesting question. Well, I guess I have to say that the people inspire me. I never thought of doing an eco village, but the people, but also the medicine and what the medicine could do for people. I was always going to Don José Campos retreat, Munay, renting it out for doing dietas. But the time came that it was something was missing. Okay, dieta, nice, 20 people come, let's do the dieta, 5 ceremony, boom, 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 beautiful, finish the dieta, kiss goodbye, have a good life. Something was missing. This, because in the Chaka Runa family, we have such a deep connection with all the people that has sat with us. I remember, I maybe don't remember the name, but the minute I asked, where were you in that country? Ah, you were sitting by the right side in the corner. Yeah, yeah. Somehow I remember, but also remember the feeling and the emotion of helping these people. Everybody, men and women, young, old, middle age, it's all welcome. Same spirit, same source. So somehow the idea of coming all together for longer periods, because 10 days is nothing, 15 days, but interacting for longer periods with the people that you have provided the space to do their work, the medicine, reach them, give them some healing and some awareness. It's not about being curious how they're going to evolve, but to be there present. It's like you have a doctor in your family. There was this time, there was one doctor for the family doctor. And then suddenly the doctor moves to another country or doesn't want to do the work anymore, and you're on the air. You no ground anymore. Who do you trust again to heal your family? But also people were asking for the same reason. They wanted to be together, interacting like a little town, a little village. And then I liked the idea because I am also an architect, remember? Eco builder. So I said, yeah, why not? It sounds nice. I have no idea how I was going to start, where it was going to be, no idea how big, how small, how long it would take. I had no idea. I just jumped. And that is how life is. Just jump. It doesn't work, whatever. Take another path. But I jumped in, and again the dots were there. I mean, I was not going to do any eco-village anymore. I couldn't find any land. And the last day I was going back home, really not even disappointed. I just accepted. No eco-village, I'm fine. The last day, boom, this person comes with a beautiful piece of land and convinced me to visit after my decision of not doing anything. And that was it. That was, I believe, the spirit of the mother showing the path. I think she chose this land. There's no other way. I mean, I was already with 1 foot in the plane, my friend. And then I just changed my ticket and stay a couple more days. And I think that was the start of everything. From being totally in acceptance of no eco village, following with my life, to embracing a big piece of land, 40 hectares from nowhere, raw, beautiful, untouched. And then I didn't even ask the people if they wanted to do or not. It was just, I have to do this. This is, I mean, I have to do this. There was no more contact with the people that wanted to do eco village, nothing. Now it was me. It was not the people. I was driven. And I took action without thinking. It was just my consciousness, something. I could have said, no, thank you, I'm done. No. I didn't even know it was going to be an EcoVillage or not. I just said this land it has to be for the mother. And then later, well, I put my architecture knowledge there and the shamanic knowledge at the same time. So that was the best combination to develop the project that we developed. And I think the outcome so far, at least in the maps, has been beautiful. And it's already manifesting physically. And at the same time, all the Chaka Runa family, most of them know about this project and they're so enthusiastic. Everybody would like to spend some time there. Some people will come for a long term. Some people maybe will come forever. Maybe we have to think of a little graveyard also, because some people will maybe die there. So yeah, that was how it started, and the purpose is to provide the space. There are two things very important here in my heart. One is that every time I go visit the Keros, the Shipibos, or other countries, I see that shamanism knowledge, the real shamanism, is vanishing. The junior generations, they don't want to take over. They don't want to take over. They're taken by the phone, by the tablet, by internet. It takes 80% of the time. So why would they jump into doing this work? I ask, do you want to learn from your grandpa? No, why not? I want to go to the city. What about you? I want to travel abroad. And you, I want to become an engineer. Maybe one wants to maybe being pushed to take over. So it's vanishing, my friend. It's vanishing everywhere. And when the elders start passing, we're doomed. And knowledge is going to in North America, in the Amazon, in the Andes, in Australia, the summits, is vanishing. It doesn't mean that it can be upgraded. Everything changes, everything evolves. You don't have to stick to the core and very old system. Take it and update it to this nowadays, and it will work, keeping the core. Because I think it can be very harsh and very boring, maybe. I don't know. That is what we did in the Chaka Runa way. We took from the Andes, I took from the Andes, from the Amazon, from the north, and put this beautiful system together that is already a mark, a way of doing with respect, with honesty, with loyalty, with consciousness, providing a safe space, safety first. That is our mantra, safety first value, before, during, and after. And bridging you. We are only the bridge through the Keros, to the medicine, to the realm of the spiritual world in the most gentle way possible. And that is what was drawn in the EcoVillage, to preserve this knowledge, because the EcoVillage is more than a healing center. I don't like the word only healing center. I always fought for building an EcoVillage because it would be the same as I felt before. Healing center, 10 people come, 20 people come, 10 days they go. There's no family. There's no, it's got to be something else. So that is why I had a vision of these like-minded people walking in their spiritual journey, in their healing journey, in their awakening journey, in the Chaka Runa way, or others, to come in this space which is big enough to hold people, to interact, and most likely also to share your gift with other people. Everybody has a gift. 1, 2, 3. You're the best than many others in dancing. You're best than many others in painting. You're best in most of the people in singing. You have a gift. Then share it in yoga, breathwork, whatever. So this shaman, this EcoVillage is also 4 legs, like the shamans. The healing, that's the healer. The shamanic school, maestro. The human, rehuman, the foreseer, humanity. And the fourth is okay, the human, the school, the human renaissance, the plant medicines, the preserving the plant medicine. We have a big farm now because 2 things are in risk: shamanism knowledge and plant medicines. Recently there was a big fire, 1 month fire, and it was devastating. I was shown videos of big areas of ayahuasca in Pucallpa, thousands of hectares burned down to ashes. And then a red flag, a red light came in my mind and in my heart. What if we run out of these plants? This is going to be the doom times for humanity, because it brings healing, it brings consciousness, it brings awareness, and then 2 things can push these plants to disappear: unconscious extraction without giving back, which we will not do. We are planting thousands of ayahuasca. We have planted already thousands of ayahuasca, thousands of Chaka Runa, thousands of chagrapanga in this land, and the indiscriminate extraction and the risk of the fires. So this is the 3 purposes: maintaining the knowledge, keeping the safety of the plants, and building a beautiful, high conscious society in the same space, where people can come and share their gift with the like-minded people. No masks, no layers. It's just you. You don't have to pretend anything to anybody. It's just you present with whatever power you have, whatever gift you have. And this is happening. We are already advanced. In the first step is the healing center to provide a little bit more finance. We are a little short in finance in that regard. I think we will make it. We will open in June. And however, we are open, very open to receive any support, financial support, of course, so we can be able to. The only thing we're missing now is the tambos. We have done a lot. We started in March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months, October, we have worked. People are still working there while I'm here. So in 8 months, we have moved forward. We have now big dirt roads prepared. We have walking trails. We have bridges over the creeks, wooden bridges over the creeks. We have a beautiful reception, two-story with a chilling out terrace. We have we're building now the rooms for the guests and the volunteers. We have water supply all over the land, big water tanks in big towers with watching points. It's beautiful there. We have the residential area already with water pipes. We have solar panels. We have a beautiful, beautiful maloca ready to go. And we are on the way of building the tambos, the cabañas, the little houses, a small 4x4 with a toilet. We want to provide a little comfort. We are there in number 10. We have to build 30. So we're missing kind of 20. But going step by step, that is why we're here doing a little work and financing in many ways. We have had our own work and our own finance. We have received very beautiful donations for heart open people. We have received donations from the whole Chaka Runa community. for the people interested in the EcoVillage also donated. We have received, and we have got some zero interest loans with a long-term payment time. And yeah, so in February next year, we're going to open again the volunteers program. So we can host you there, giving you shelter and food and a lot of work to do. Because only we all together can make this happen. I am only one person with my crew and my team walking this, but an EcoVillage is created by the people that live there. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. What do we gain with the beautiful infrastructure with no people? This is for you. This is to leave behind. I had this beautiful statement 1 week ago for a beautiful couple that are doing a ecological project in Chile. And this man said, if your life project can be achieved in a lifetime, you're not thinking big enough. You have to trespass your life for other generations. So I hope we can receive some support from all of you, my friends. Thank you, Josh, for your time. Always honored to be with you and exchange these.